Hello, welcome to another episode of Thy Truth. Is your relationship causing more harm than good? What are those things that would have to occur or happen in your relationship for you to conclude that this is not healthy for me? This relationship isn't doing any good. Instead, it's causing me more harm. When relationships are good, they're great, they're fantastic. But when they're bad, they have the potential to damage much more than your feelings. In fact, when a relationship does more harm than good, it can wreck your self-esteem. It can alter the course of your life and even lead you to a life path that you end up regretting. When you're in a bad relationship, it has the ability to completely destroy your life. I have seen both men and women who were on the extreme side of the fence, the ones who lost their businesses, the ones who lost custody of their children, who lost their jobs, even their sanity at the hands of a violent abuser. I say this all the time, just because a partner doesn't hit you or beat you up or give you the red eyes doesn't mean that your relationship isn't abusive. It doesn't mean it's healthy. When you spend too much time in an unhealthy relationship, it starts to change you. And there are signs everywhere that things are headed in a bad direction, but it's hard to see it from the inside. Friends, family, colleagues, people around you might notice it, and they might try to warn you or try to, get you out of that unhealthy situation, but you are not able to see it. It took me seeing my relationship from the outside to understand that certain things I regarded as normal weren't normal at all. If you don't like the way a relationship has changed your life, you have every right to end it. Yeah, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You know what's best for you, and you know best where it hurts. So, how do you recognize or know a relationship is doing more harm than good? Number one, you know a relationship is doing more harm than good when you are constantly unhappy. You're not happy all the time. It bleeds through all areas of your life. You go out and people can see it. You pass on that unhappy vibe to everyone. Granted, no relationship is all dandy or full of joy. There are hard times, there'll be bad times. There are times you get irritated, there are times you get bored. But, those times pass, and the relationship as a whole should bring you more happiness than pain. Now, if you take a look at your relationship and you really realize that you are unhappy most of the time, then it's time to make some changes. No? I think yes. Number two, you know a relationship is doing more harm than good when you're not yourself anymore. I have met people before they got into a relationship, they had this positive aura, about them. When you see them, you always want to be around them. But as soon as they get into that relationship, they change completely. Some people have the unhealthy habit of getting lost in their relationships. I know what that feels like. They stop doing the things they love and they lose interest in their own interest. They may take on the interest of their partners, they take on the partner's lifestyle, they take on the partner's habits. They ignore themselves. In fact, for some, the relationship becomes their only interest. Like we were saying, Pigeon, they go carry on for head. Now, this type of behavior is codependent, and it's seriously problematic. It's fine to give, a part of your life or a part of yourself to your partner, but you can't give your whole self. Take stock of the things you used to love. Take stock of your interests and make sure you're still loving them. Make sure you're still doing those things that you enjoy. Not just dependent and focusing on your partner's real interest. You have yours as well. Number three, relationship is causing more harm than good when your friends and your family keep complaining. I mean, we live in a society where we think, oh, everyone who complains about our relationships are probably jealous of us, or they don't want to see us happy, so that's why they're telling me, oh, my partner is this or that, Let's just put it this way. Almost all your friends and your family can't just be jealous of your relationship. Your friends know you. If they're complaining that you're not yourself, you're never around, or they're worried about you, they're probably at least a little bit correct, no? Think about it. As we might know, mostly abusers have this cunny way of isolating your victims from their friends and families. In fact, you won't even recognize it until you wake up one morning and everyone is gone. You're someone who people like to be around, people, come around you, and all of a sudden, no one, they're just, what, let's leave her alone, let's leave him alone. If your partner always has something negative to say, or always finds a way to keep you, keep you at home when you want to go out, think about it. It's a huge red flag. Number 4. Your relationship is causing you more harm than good when they take advantage of you. Ask yourself this. Are you dating a big baby? An adult child? Do you have to do all the work? You take care of all the responsibilities. You make all the money, and while they do literally nothing. I mean, let's be honest. It's difficult. It's difficult for you to focus on the things that make you happy when all your physical energy, all your emotional energy goes into doing the work of living two people's lives. So even more if you have children, or if children are involved. Now, I'm not talking about a loving couple, where one partner has specific needs and the other partner helps care for them. I'm talking about the toxic environment created when one adult enables another adult to avoid responsibilities. And as time goes on, it might be okay, but it will eventually or ultimately take a toll on you. And until, you will get to a point, you will get to or reach a breaking point. And trust me, the feeling is exhausted. You'll get to a point where you just can't take it anymore. You feel you're tired. That definitely shows that your relationship is causing more harm. Number 5, your relationship is causing more harm than good when you're being abused. This is a common one. This is something that we've talked about before. A lot of people, they know that they're being abused, but some feel like because they tell themselves, well, this is love and love is worth everything. Like, love is all that matters. I've met people who tell me that they feel a deeper connection with their partner when their partner abuses them. Believe it or not, yes. I've met a man who said he didn't mind his woman being physically abusive or verbally abusive towards him over another woman because it shows that, she wants him. I have met some women who would say, well, a man is not truly a man if he doesn't hit me. I will know he's a man until he shows he's a man by being physical with me. I have met a woman who actually broke up an engagement because she felt the man was too weak physically. So she would do something wrong to him, maybe provoke him, but he wouldn't, he would try to resolve it calmly. And she said, no, that's not the kind of man I want, because she's used to the fact that men should be more physically dominating. They should dominate by being physically abusive. Yeah, I have heard quite a lot. I've seen quite a lot when it comes to abusive relationships. And I'm not just talking physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. People in abusive relationships, yes, they have good times. They feel deep love. It makes it seem like there's something worth saving. I'm here to tell you this. And I'll tell you straight up, it's not true. That's not love. Love is nothing without respect. Love is nothing without safety. Love is nothing without trust. It's hard to lose someone you love and to accept the reality that your relationship isn't good for you. But if you stay, there's a chance your abuser would kill you or could kill you. And this is not a game. It's the truth. Abuse of any form is not normal. It is not healthy. Number 6. You know relationship is causing more harm than good when it feels like you have to walk on eggshells. I mean, we've established the fact that abuse isn't just physical, right? It's not just physical violence. If your partner uses anger, uses intimidation, directly or indirectly, to make you feel like you have to act a certain way, you have to be at home at a certain time. If you go out with your friends, you get into trouble, whatever trouble means, by the way, whatever trouble means in your situation, then you are in an abusive situation. No one in a relationship should feel like a prisoner to the desires of another person or a constant victim of their anger. If they have a problem with their self-esteem or whatever it is, it's your problem. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells because you're trying to please or you're trying to avoid the anger or intimidation from your partner. That's not healthy. Number 7, lastly, you know a relationship is doing more harm than good when you're waiting for them to change. This is a mistake a lot of us make, and I'm guilty as well. If you're hanging in, waiting for your partner to change, believing that they will become better, you could be waiting forever. Do you get that? You could be waiting for a very long time. And this waiting, it could hold you back. This waiting could deprive you from meeting someone really wonderful. I always tell people I know, especially those who are not married yet, settling is never okay. It takes courage to leave any unhealthy situation. If you're waiting for the magic day when your partner becomes who you wish they were, you'll almost always be disappointed. Remember, you never have to stay in a relationship if it's not in your best interest, or if it's getting in the way of your goals, or if it's getting in the way of your happiness. Relationships aren't the only thing in life. It is not healthy to remain in a relationship that is causing you more harm than good. I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening.
Meet you again at another episode of Die True. Finding Your Truth with Efemena.